This lesson is about finding your way around the fretboard. You need to know the names of the notes so that you can move quickly and accurately to them. Take the key of G and we play the chord of G. The note G actually occurs in that chord 3 times. We've got the 6th string, 3rd string, 1st string. Now, if we want to play a riff or a bit of lead or something up the neck in the key of G, we need to know where to start. So where is G? G is here. There's another G on the 2nd string. We also have a G on the 3rd string, 12th fret. So we need to understand some basic music theory, and it's quite simple. Notes in traditional music theory are represented by the first 7 letters of the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now I'm going to use a keyboard for the next part of the lesson, as I think it's easier to explain using the keyboard. Then we'll come back and we'll apply what we learn from the keyboard to the fretboard. Now the first thing we need to do on the keyboard is to find A, and this note is A. You will find the 3 black notes, and between the middle and the 3rd note you have A. So let's play the notes according to the alphabet. We start with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and back to A. And we start off again, A, B, C, D, and so on up the keyboard. Now we've missed some notes in doing that. We've missed the black notes. So if we press every note from A to A to A is known as an octave. We will be increasing the pitch each time by a semitone. Now the pitch would be the highness or the lowness of a note, to use non-musical language, and a semitone is the smallest interval between 2 notes. So if we go from A to this note, we've increased the pitch by a semitone or a half tone. And this note to the next note B is also a semitone. So let's move on up the keyboard. And back to A again. Those black notes are known as sharps and flats. So the first one we play, this is A. We move up a semitone. That note is known as A sharp. We increase the pitch by a semitone. If we had to start at B and move back a semitone, it's the same note, but it's known as B flat. So that black note is A sharp or B flat. Similarly with A, B, C, this black note, we increase the tone, we increase the pitch by a semitone, so it's C sharp. If we take this note, which is D, and move back a semitone, it's D flat. So that note is C sharp or D flat. Now for the purpose of identifying notes on the fretboard on the guitar, I'm going to refer to the steps not as semitones but as half steps and whole steps. So if we go from A to B, this note again, remember, is A, this note is B, we're moving 2 half steps. That's a half step, that's a half step. So from A to B is a whole step. From B to C, the interval is a half step. From C to D, the interval is a whole step made up of 2 half steps. C to C sharp to D. From D to E is a whole step. E to F, the interval is a half step. F to G is a whole step. And G back to A is also a whole step. So what you need to remember is there's a whole step from note to note, except for B to C, which is a half step, and E to F. which is also a half step. Now let's look at our guitar fretboard and apply our theory to it. We will work on the 5th string, which is the A string open, and on the guitar, when you move from fret to fret, you're moving a semitone or a half step. So from fret to fret, we're moving a half step each time. If we want to move a whole step, we move 2 frets. So remember, there is a whole step between all the notes, from note to note, from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, except from B to C and E to F. So we know the 5th string open is A. To find B, we need to move a whole step. So A is open, that would be a half step, so we need to go to the 2nd fret, that's B. Now we know B to C is not a whole step, it's a half step, so B to C, 1 fret. So your first 3 notes on the A string are A, open, B, whole step, C, half step. From C to D we know is a whole step. So the first notes are A, B, C, D. D to E is a whole step. E to F, half step. F to G was a whole step. And G back to A then is also a whole step. So we're now at A, which is where we started, but we're an octave higher. And you will know we're on the 12th fret. There are 2 dots on top of the neck here to help you locate that. So all the notes in order are A, whole step B, half step to C, whole step to D, whole step to E, half step to F, whole step to G, whole step to A. So there you know the notes on the 5th string. Now the notes in between the half steps, they're the sharps and flats that we discussed on the keyboard. So A, open string, if we move up a semitone, a half step, it brings us to A sharp. Or as we also found out that if you go to B and go back a semitone, a half step, you're now at B flat. Same note, A sharp and B flat are the same thing. Now can we find the notes on the 6th string, which is E? We know the next note after E is obviously F. We know that it's a half step, so E to F, half step. F to G we know is a full step. So the first 3 notes there are E, F, G. Then from G obviously we go back and we start at the alphabet again, we go back to A, and G to A is a full step, a whole step, G to A to B, whole step, B to C, half step, C to D, whole step, D to E, whole step. And we're back on the 12th fret again, which is an octave higher than where we started. Open, so open E, higher E, an octave higher. Similarly, you can find your way around on the 4th string, which is the D string. So it's D open. You know from D to E is a whole step. E to F, half step. F to G, whole step. G to, we're back to A, whole step. A to B, whole step. B to C, half step, sorry. And C to D, whole step. And and we're now again on the 12th fret, which is an octave higher than the open string. And you can do the same with the 3rd string G, 2nd string B, and 1st string E. Now there's a lot of information there, but there are some tricks and tips to find your way around the fretboard, which we will deal with as we progress. What I would suggest though is just to find A on each string, so that you can have a reference point and get quickly to it. So you know how to find your way now. You start on the E string, work your way up, E, F, G to A. A is actually here on the 5th fret. The 5th string is open, but we know also that A is on the 12th. On the 4th string A is the 7th fret. The 3rd string A is the 2nd fret. The 2nd string A is the 10th fret. And the 1st string A is the 5th fret. So if you could find your way around those,